You are drifting into P.o.p. Presents, and I'm P.o.p., also known as Walter I.V. This is your sonic dream, a soundscape that is meant to be felt and heard, and not to be seen. This episode begins my 4-part interview series. In 2020 and 2021, I started doing interviews on podcast. And the first one was with a really good friend of mine from India. Her and I became friends. Her name is Shay. And we became friends on Instagram just through writing and reading each other's work. We started to message each other with daily inspiration, motivation. I remember it was 2017, 3 years before the pandemic and before any podcast was popular. Shay came to me and was looking for a creative outlet. First thing that I thought of was her strength, which was her voice. Her voice was so soothing and healing, and she's an amazing orator. So I did some research, and I found this company called Anchor, which is now Spotify for podcasters. Back then, Anchor was a podcast host, and you can record your podcast directly to your phone. So I presented Shay with my idea, and let me tell you something. She did not hesitate. She received it, and then she ran with it. It's May of 2020, and we record our show, and the topic is the importance of sleep for creative people. So after that, the Heal with Shay podcast was born, and I was one of her first guests. So without further ado, this is Heal with Shay featuring P.o.p.
Welcome to Heal with Shay. So, today's episode is again a special one as we have an amazing guest with us for the week. He is a longtime friend of mine. He lives in the States, and he has been a great support to me in many areas because he is an extremely talented and creative person. He's a music producer, he's a writer, he's a photographer, especially of taking pictures of nature and connecting the spiritual aspect of it through his words and through the images that he clicks. And he inspires me in many ways and has helped me move forward in many of my projects. So welcome, guys, Walter P.o.p. Matthews IV. Hi, Walter. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
And how is your work going on these days?
Work is going. Work has been pretty creative.
Okay.
Coming up with new ideas every day, more and more every day. Always a flow of creativity going.
Yeah, that's how creative people are, right? We are always coming up with ideas, and we have our brain working most of the times.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I think that exactly brings me to the question that I really wanted to ask you, that since you are a music producer, you're a writer, you are a photographer of everything Zen in nature, and you are so creative. And I know how difficult it gets to have a proper sleep routine. And So I really wanted to know, and I want you to tell me and the listeners as to how sleep is very important for creativity.
Sleep is the most important thing to creativity. It's actually the foundation of creativity. Um, you know, um, when you get proper sleep, it resets everything. You have to look at your body like a computer,
Mm-hmm.
and your body needs to reset because when I do get proper rest, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. I so many new and ideas come to me in abundance when I'm well rested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I, I used to take sleep for granted, but um, proper sleep is very necessary for mental health and physical health. So it's very important.
Yeah. And do you ever feel there are challenges as an artist, as a creative person, to get a proper, good, deep sleep? And what could be the challenges for anybody who is into a creative field like yours?
Okay, number one, the biggest culprit of lack of sleep is the little square machine that we all use called a smartphone.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Our smartphone and the blue light and the distractions of social media are energy vampires
Yeah.
and will drain you. So we have to be more self-disciplined when it comes to social media usage because um, that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of times I can't sleep because if I'm on my phone later than I need to be, I can't naturally sleep because of the blue light.
Yeah.
Mhm. So um, self discipline, self discipline, and good rest go together hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
you really have to know when to shut things down, and you really have to know when to shut your phone down. For me, I'll speak for myself. Like the distractions of the smartphone and social media, like many times, take me away from my creativity.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's number one. Number one, self discipline with social media and social media apps. That's number one.
Okay. And do you think that sleep is also important for an artist to have more ideas? Like sleep, a good sleep really helps in getting more creative ideas into their work.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it really proper sleep actually gives you the best chance to have the most productive day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because when when I have a proper night's sleep, I wake up with energy. I wake up with a like an energy where I want to accomplish so much. I don't feel like I'm dragging through the day. You know, I, I don't
Yeah.
feel mundane. I just feel like full. I feel full of life. You understand?
Yeah, like full of vibrant energy and
Yes.
great vitality, right?
Yes. Yes. There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So, Walter, would you like to tell us how to manage time for getting a good sleep, because there are people who do not have a choice sometimes to have a proper routine, to go to sleep at 10 or 11 because
Mhm.
of their pressure. So how do you suggest them to get a or manage their time to get a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep?
That's that's a great question. Being that my main job is a night shift worker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a night shift worker along with all my other creative jobs, but I'm a night shift worker, so that makes it even harder for me to have a regular sleep pattern because I work 3 nights a week and my body has to takes a whole day to adjust. But um, for it's really according to your schedule. We all have different schedules. But
Mm-hmm.
the best thing, I'll go back to just uh, willpower, self discipline. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, coming up with a schedule where, like, you go to bed earlier than you would instead of sitting in the bed binging on Netflix or watching shows. You know, go to bed like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Turn the TV off. Turn
Yeah.
turn the smartphone off. Turn the lights out. One of the biggest things to help me have a proper night's sleep is turning my light off. I have to.
Yeah.
I put on my TV a TV timer, and I even have a smart light bulb. I put my light bulb on the timer. When all of my lights are out, I sleep so much better. So turn off the phone, turn off the TV, turn off the light. Uh,
Yeah.
Go to sleep at the same time every night. If you pick 9 p.m., do that like every night. If you pick 8 p.m., do that every night. Routine, regiment, self discipline.
Yeah. So these are, I think, even I was thinking the same thing just some time back about what could be the most important things for getting a good sleep. And I think the most important point that pops up into my mind, also as a life coach and a yoga teacher, is that we need to be disciplined to have a constant, similar routine to
Yes,
go to sleep and to get up. Doesn't matter even if we are, working till late night, like 1 or 2 in the morning, but we need to have a routine because that really helps our body to adjust and work better. So
absolutely.
I think, yes. And also, the most important thing, apart from this, that you mentioned, is that we need to switch off our digital gadgets. And rather, we shouldn't even allow digital gadgets in the bedroom.
Oh,
I feel. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And less of light, yes, and less noise. These kind of work with me, and a comfortable room temperature. I think that's also an addition to a good sleep.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So Walter, I think this is great. I mean, the reason that we are having this conversation is because I know that you are an extremely creative person and you have multiple work to do throughout the day. And I also know that to have a good sleep is also your priority, because often we have been talking offline that uh, how good sleep has been an inspiration for you to get your creative ideas flowing.
Yes.
So I just love that, even if you have been busy throughout the day, you still emphasize on getting a good sleep, because there are so many people who just chuck the idea of getting a good sleep telling that, we are busy and we have a lot of work to do. We are creative people. We don't have a schedule. So I guess you are really setting that bar high, that no, we even if we are creative, we need to have a good sleep. We need to have a routine. We need to have a discipline.
Yes.
What would you like, as we try to wrap up the episode, what would be your ultimate suggestion for your listeners? What would you love to tell them?
Well, what would I like to tell them as far as sleep or just anything or just any? Are you talking in general or are we
Yes,
still?
whatever you feel that, as a creative person, what is your idea of a healthy mind and healthy emotion? How would you summarize this?
That's a really great question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what keeps what keeps me in a healthy mind state is um, being inspired, being
Mm-hmm.
inspired, being positive.
Yeah.
Um, nature is a major inspiration for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I draw a lot of inspiration just from my environment. Like a beautiful day. The rain. I'm a big fan of the rain. Not I meditate when it rains. It calms me. So my advice would be um, find what find what your joy is. Find
Mm-hmm.
that joy and that euphoria within, and that happiness. Just block out everything from the outside world and find that joy within you. Find the joy within. Find your euphoria. Tap in and connect
Mm-hmm.
to it. And when you connect to that piece within you, that's the foundation. And you can build everything from that peace, joy, and happiness within.
Wow, that is seriously a very good advice from you for all of us, especially when you said that you meditate while, especially when it rains, you meditate. I think that's a universal idea for every.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, meditation really, really helps us. So, Walter, I think this is it. We had a great time having you here for this week's episode. I learned a lot from you, and I'm sure our listeners have been learning a lot from you while they have been listening to you all this time. And I'll just see you around, I guess.
Thank you so much. This was a wonderful conversation.
Okay, then. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so that was a great session. I mean, it's really important, guys, to understand the importance of sleep, especially for creative people. And even if you are busy, and I know as a creative person, you really want to bring out all your ideas on your page, on your canvas, in everything you do, your mind is working overtime. And we have a tendency to not stop and just keep on working, bringing out ideas, being creative, and just trying to be our best. And believe me, it's a great way to work and move ahead in life. But what's more important is that we need to have a good sleep for letting us get rest, enough rest for our body to go into recovery mode and get rejuvenated the next day to work even better, and the ideas flow better with much more clarity. So guys, if you are lacking sleep, Please find your time. Please reschedule everything that you do and manage at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep for yourself. And I'm sure you're going to see a great difference in your work, in your performance, in your creativity, and in your general health. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then, love and peace. Namaste.